If you do not master these next minutes, you will waste the next decades. This is not a list of empty tips. What you are about to hear is a Machiavellian audit of the 15 most decisive skills that determine whether you rise to wealth or remain trapped in mediocrity. By the time we finish, you will know exactly which of these weapons you already possess, which you lack, and how to sharpen them. Think of this video as a mirror the powerful use to see what ordinary men never notice. Miss a part, and you forfeit an advantage that could have compounded for years. Watch to the end, and you will leave with a blueprint that most never encounter in their lifetime. That is the choice before you now. One skill: discipline. The foundation of all sovereignty is discipline. Machiavelli warned that a man who cannot command himself cannot command fortune. Discipline is not the heroic burst of effort, but the relentless rhythm of action repeated every single day. Imagine your life as an army. Without discipline, your soldiers scatter, battles are lost, and enemies advance. But with discipline, each day marches in formation toward your objective. It means waking at the same hour, regardless of weather or mood, and advancing your purpose before distractions seize your attention. Begin small. Control your mornings, control your environment, and you will begin to control destiny itself. Without this, wealth is an illusion. To skill, emotional intelligence. Yet, self-mastery alone is not enough. The second skill is emotional intelligence, the ability to read men as easily as you read words. In politics, Machiavelli taught that the prince must be both lion and fox, strong enough to strike, subtle enough to detect traps. This is emotional intelligence in practice. Money flows not to the one who knows the most facts, but to the one who understands what others desire, fear, and conceal. Ask yourself, can you sense when someone's praise hides envy? Can you tell when silence masks resistance? If not, you are negotiating blind. To strengthen this skill, begin first with yourself. Record your own emotions, trace them back to their triggers, and then turn the same analysis outward. The one who can read others controls the game. 3. Skill. Self-motivation. Once you can command yourself and read others, you must ignite the third skill: self-motivation. Machiavelli noted that fortune favors the bold, not the hesitant. In your journey to wealth, there will be long stretches without applause, when no one believes in your mission. If your will depends on approval, you will collapse. Motivation must come from the vision you carry inside. Close your eyes and see the life you demand the mornings without servitude, the house that reflects your sovereignty, the companions who share your purpose. Fix this vision in your environment, on your desk, your walls, and your devices, so it never releases you. When fatigue and doubt arrive, this image will push you forward like a general driving his troops into battle. For skill, focus. But even fire can be wasted if scattered. The fourth skill is focus, the control of attention. Today, distraction is an industry designed to make slaves of men. If you cannot master focus, you are already serving another's empire. Audit your day. How many hours were traded for nothing? Screens, games, idle chatter. Replace them with concentrated action directed toward your goals. Remember Machiavelli's warning. The masses are deceived by appearances. The sovereign man pierces through appearances and acts only on what brings him closer to power. With discipline, emotional intelligence, self-motivation, and focus, you have laid the foundation of sovereignty. But foundations alone do not build empires. Machiavelli studied the great rulers of history and saw that those who triumphed were not only disciplined, but also wise enough to expand their vision and adjust their strategy. Before others, the next 4 skills form the scaffolding on which wealth is built: reading, long-term vision, continuous learning, and the art of selling. Without them, you will remain a soldier trapped in the trenches, rather than a commander directing the war. 5 skill, reading. The 5th skill is reading, the secret weapon of the few who outpaced the many. Machiavelli himself immersed in the histories of Rome and Greece to extract lessons from centuries of blood and conquest. When you read, you are not consuming entertainment. You are borrowing lifetimes of victories and mistakes. Think of a book as a treasury of strategies. With just 1 hour a day, you compress decades of wisdom into your mind, equipping yourself with patterns most will never see. The wealthy read to sharpen their edge, while the poor scroll through distractions. Sixth skill, playing the long game. From knowledge, we turn to foresight. The sixth skill is playing the long game. Most men stumble because they chase what feels good in the moment, trading the kingdom of tomorrow for the crumbs of today. Machiavelli warned that men are ungrateful, fickle liars, and therefore one who rules must think not of fleeting favor, but of enduring strength. Wealth is never built in a season. It demands 7 to 10 years of relentless compounding. The question is, will you arrive in a decade with an empire or with regret? Seventh skill, continuous learning. The seventh skill is continuous learning, the ability to adapt and expand as the world shifts beneath your feet. A ruler who refuses to learn soon falls, just as kingdoms that ignore innovation crumble. Stephen Hawking echoed this truth when he said, "Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change." Machiavelli would have agreed because he saw that fortune always shifts and only those who adapt survive. Ask yourself, when was the last time you learned something that transformed your thinking or improved your life?
8th skill, the art of selling. Finally, we come to the 8th skill, the art of selling. Most despise selling because they mistake it for manipulation. But in truth, every exchange of life is a negotiation. From the cry of an infant to the speech of a prince, you are always persuading others to trade what they have for what you offer. Machiavelli advised rulers to appear merciful, faithful, and humane, while beneath the mask they secured their power. This is selling at its highest form, the alignment of appearance with persuasion. To sell effectively is to understand value from another's perspective and present your offer so that refusing it feels irrational. Up to this point, you have forged the inner weapons: discipline, perception, vision, learning, and persuasion. But Machiavelli understood that no prince rules alone. Power is multiplied when you command the time, labor, and belief of others. The next set of skills: outsourcing, sacrifice, marketing, and leadership are the levers by which fortunes are built. 9. Skill: outsourcing. The 9th skill is outsourcing the science of reclaiming time. Fortune grants each man the same 24 hours. The poor waste them. The average man spends them, but the sovereign buys the hours of others and multiplies his reach. Machiavelli taught that rulers delegate lesser tasks so they can focus on matters of state. You must do the same. Identify the repetitive, low-value tasks in your life and transfer them to others. 10th skill: sacrifice. The 10th skill is sacrifice the price of every empire. There is no wealth without something given up. Machiavelli noted that a ruler must sometimes do what is cruel in the short term to preserve power in the long term. Ask yourself, are you willing to trade parties for study, consumption for investment, leisure for mastery? The dream is free, but the throne is purchased with blood and trade-offs. 11th skill: marketing. The 11th skill is marketing, which is not the same as selling. Selling is the action of the seller. Marketing is the perception of the buyer. Machiavelli warned princes to craft appearances carefully because men judge more by the eye than by the hand. If you can master how others perceive your value, you can turn the simplest idea into gold. Your brand, your reputation, your presentation, these are weapons of persuasion at scale. 12. Skill: leadership. The 12th skill is leadership, the ability to inspire and mobilize others toward your vision. Machiavelli wrote that men are won by the spectacle of greatness. People follow strength, conviction, and example, not mere words. If you wish to build something enduring, you cannot march alone. You must assemble a team that believes in your mission enough to bleed for it. This does not mean empty motivational speeches. It means embodying the discipline and vision you demand, so that others see your sacrifice and join your cause. Now that you have learned to command others, you must guard the fruits of your ambition. Machiavelli taught that power is not secured simply by conquest, but by preserving what has been gained and expanding it with prudence. The final skills: money management, adaptability, networks, and ruthless honesty determine whether your empire endures or crumbles. These are the defenses and multipliers of wealth, the disciplines that transform temporary fortune into lasting sovereignty. 13th skill: money management. The 13th skill is money management, the stewardship of your financial army. Think of each coin as a soldier under your command. The foolish ruler squanders his troops on vanity and fleeting indulgence, while the wise ruler sends them out to conquer new territory and return with captives. 14th skill: adaptability. The 14th skill is adaptability, the art of surviving shifting tides. Those who resist change are crushed by it. To be wealthy, you must adjust your tactics as fortune shifts, sensing new opportunities and abandoning dying strategies. 15th skill: building a powerful network. The 15th skill is building a powerful networks, rounding yourself with quality allies and mentors. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with weakness, you inherit their fate. But if you surround yourself with strength, wealth, and vision, their influence elevates you. Hidden law: brutal honesty with yourself. Finally, there is a hidden 16th law: brutal honesty with yourself. If you lie to yourself about your discipline, your intelligence, or your results, you will remain trapped in mediocrity. Admit where you are weak, and you can grow. Pretend you are strong when you are not, and you will fall the moment pressure comes. You have now seen the complete arsenal: 15 skills, plus the hidden law, each one a weapon forged to transform your life. If you master even half of them, you are already on the path that most never discover it. The choice is yours. Remain as you are or seize these skills and reforge yourself into someone fortune cannot ignore. Join the community of those who refuse mediocrity, who build sovereignty with discipline, strategy, and courage. Do not waste another decade. Begin today, and fortune will eventually kneel before you.